Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah in the Universe and welcome to episode 9 of In the Universe. I can't wait to get into today's topics. We have some exciting stuff to talk about. But first off, I want to thank those of you who are subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for staying subscribed and for checking out another video with me. Alright guys, let's get into our first topic. So I am so excited to tell you we have some more updates, well rather pictures that were released from the upcoming A24 film Maxxxine, starring Mia Goth, which is the third film in Ty West trilogy, the first being X and then Pearl, and now coming out this summer, Maxxxine. I am so excited. I've already talked about, I've talked about it a lot on this channel, and I'm so excited that we got some more pictures. So let's get into that, guys. And I'm old-fashioned here. You guys know I show everything on my iPad, so just letting you guys know we're not super fancy here yet on In the Universe, but hopefully soon. Okay. So A24, a day ago, or I think this was actually 2 days ago, but they put out this picture of Mia Goth from the film, and it says she's got the X Factor. And there's Maxxxine. Let me zoom in on this. She is walking in front of a soundstage, because if you've seen the trailer for Maxxxine, she is finally getting her big moment in Hollywood, and she is going to be in a movie, which I just can't wait to see that. I mean, she looks so good. I love this outfit, guys. I am like, I just love Mia Goth. Look at that outfit. This is like my horror Barbie summer. Last summer was summer of Barbie. This is summer of Maxxxine. And look, you can see in the back, the other actresses, the other ladies are all waiting for like an audition, but she has the X Factor. I cannot wait. Okay, so that was one of the pictures that was released. Let's get into the others. There's this one. Oh, this looks so good. I just love the lighting. So yeah, if you didn't know, the movie's, I think I said it already, but it's taking place in the 80s, which is super exciting. Such a great time for a horror movie, right? For a slasher. Oh, amazing. Just amazing. I cannot wait for this. All right, so let's get into some of the other photos they release. All right, so here we have, this looks so great. Maxxine's getting her like makeup done, like all interesting. They put like I don't know what it's called, like not it's not mold, but it's like a cast, I think. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what they're gonna do. Oh, that looks so great. And then we show the one. Okay, and this, I believe this is Elizabeth Debicki, and she, I believe, is playing the director in the film. Like, she's going to be the director of the film that Maxxxine is starring in. And a lot of people, myself included, I was like, she looks like she's playing Greta Gerwig, okay? She's definitely making the horror Barbie movie, right? I'm just kidding. But, oh, that looks so good. And Mia Goth here, she is giving me, like, Charlize Theron vibes. Like, oh my gosh, I love it. I, like, literally cannot wait for this. Oh, it's so good. Like, I am so excited. And I believe this is Kevin Bacon, right? Should have looked this up before. I think this is Kevin Bacon. Is it Kevin Bacon? That has to be. I would hate to get my actors, like, mixed up, because let me see. My thing is, like, I'm always gonna, I don't want to get things wrong on here and, like, say it's, like, one actor when it's, like, someone else. Yeah. Okay, yep, this is Kevin Bacon in Maxxxine, covered in blood. Ooh. Okay. And then, yes, so this one, who is doing Maxxine's makeup over here, this is Sophie Thatcher. I couldn't think of her name at the time, but yeah, Sophie Thatcher right here. So many amazing actors who are going to be in Maxxxine. I mean, I did review the Maxxxine trailer. I reviewed it as Pearl, actually. It's on my channel. If you want to check it out, feel free to do that. But, we talked about how in that trailer, there were so many actors. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito, so many other amazing actors who are going to be in that movie. I mean, it's really going to be such a huge film, I think, for A24. They've already had, done huge numbers with Civil War this year. Another great film that I highly recommend you guys check out. And I think they're going to have an even bigger summer with Maxxxine. It just looks so great. It's such the perfect time to release a horror slasher film, the summertime. It's going to do big numbers. I definitely think so. I think Mia Goth has become such a star with these films and just in the horror genre in general. She's going to be in the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie with Jacob Elordi. It's just, she's doing big things right now. And I am so super excited for Maxxxine. I cannot wait for this movie. We are going to be talking about that more on this channel. Actually, so I went to Universal Studios earlier this week, and I did a trip report video on that, and I showed that, in the Studio Tour 60, special thing they're doing right now to celebrate 60 years of the Studio Tour, you actually get to get off and walk around the Bates Motel, and they have, and there's other photo ops you can do, but one of something that I was super excited about just because, it related to Maxxxine is you get to do a photo op in front of the Psycho house and the motel, the Bates Motel, which they do show that Maxxxine is on the Universal lot at the Bates Motel and other places on the Universal backlot in the trailers. So I cannot wait to see Maxxxine. It looks so good. Oh, it's great, guys. If you haven't seen the trailers yet, I highly recommend you checking it out, okay? I love Maxxxine. So I wanted to give that little update on Maxxxine. So excited about that, guys. Let me know what your thoughts about Maxxxine are. How excited are you guys for that? What are you most looking forward to seeing from that film? And I can't wait to talk about Maxxxine more on the channel. All right, guys, let's move on into our second topic for today. So I believe it was yesterday they released the trailer for the prequel to the A Quiet Place films called A Quiet Place Day One, starring Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. If you guys haven't checked out the trailer, I highly recommend doing that. The trailer was really, really good. I'm always really skeptical when it comes to prequel movies. I'm like, either it's going to be a hit or it's not, because when you've already seen, and those, the previous two A Quiet Place films were just so good that, when you're showing, obviously it showed the midst of this apocalypse they're in. And, you wonder, well, since we already seen what happens, is it going to be really anything interesting to see how this all started? And I definitely think so. After watching that trailer, it was so good. It reminded me a lot, actually, of War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise. It reminded me a lot of that movie. I think there's all this, obviously the characters have no idea what this is, what's going on. And I don't know if you want to call them aliens or whatever these creatures are. I'm just gonna call them aliens. I have no idea. But they look super scary. The fact that they move so quickly, I think that's always been a really scary thing, seeing in the other A Quiet Place films is, just like one little noise and these things just pop out of nowhere. It's so creepy, right? But, the trailer looks so great. Yes, and starring Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. I think they look so great, guys. If you didn't see them at the Oscars together, they went to the Oscars together, and they just look so cute. I don't think they're dating or anything. I never get into celebrities' personal lives on here, but I don't know. They just look so cute, and they're out there promoting the movie, and I am so excited. I'm huge fans of both of them. After watching this trailer, it made so much sense. It kind of just clicked for me why Joseph Quinn, obviously if you don't know, Joseph Quinn played Eddie Munson in season 4 of Stranger Things. Very popular character. I loved his character. I adore him so much in that role. But after watching this A Quiet Place Day One trailer, I was like, I get why they casted him this. It reminds me a lot of Stranger Things with the Demogorgons, going everywhere, right? And poor Eddie, if you've seen Stranger Things in the Upside Down, you know what happens. But I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense why he would be here. And yes, I just completely adore Lupita Nyong'o. She is just, she's so adorable. She's such a fantastic actress. She's gorgeous. I really can't wait to see them together. In this movie, but let me see what I pulled up here about the film. I get my bookmarks. Let's see. Whoops. So here was one of the posters they released. Someone said this looked like a Mission Impossible poster. I have to agree. Gosh, those alien creatures are always crashing out of everywhere. I mean, that's crazy. Oh, I love this. Lupita Nyong'o's character has this little cat she's holding, and in one part of the trailer, the guy's like, "Hey, no cats in here," and she's like, "It's a service cat." So funny. Yeah, like all the chaos, right? And they're in New York City. I feel like everything is always in New York City. Gosh, that's crazy. I just like, I wonder how they like figure out how they have to like stay quiet, right? For these things, like the sound, right, is like what's attracting these creatures to like come at them. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be crazy. Oh no. Joseph Quinn is not having a great time. Man, he better have a better ending in this than in Stranger Things, you know, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, here's another poster. Stay quiet, stay alive. You know, and I was just trying to like remember, I was trying to remember whether or not A Quiet Place came out before that movie was it called Bird Box on Netflix, the one with Sandra Bullock where they can't look at anything? I gotta be honest. I mean, first of all, I love the Quiet Place films more than I like that Bird Box. You know, when I saw that Bird Box movie, I was like, yeah, okay, I get this. I wasn't that like into it. It's just, I don't know. Like it didn't. I felt too much like A Quiet Place. Again, I don't know which one came out. And then I think Netflix did another movie about the apocalypse where they couldn't like do something either. I forgot what that one was called, but I watched it. I'm like, it's just too much like these films, you know? So I really like the Quiet Place films though. I'm pretty excited to check this one out, and I think it's great. Oh, let me get the release date for that. I think it's coming out in June. But, you know, some of these apocalypse films, I think, are starting to mirror each other a little too much. And so I think, you know, you gotta try something different, right? But I'm really excited about A Quiet Place Day 1. Okay, so it comes out June 28th, 2024. Okay. Yeah, wow, we're gonna be getting a lot of big blockbusters this summer. I mean, you know, really exciting action thriller films. Quiet Place Day 1. We're gonna have Twisters coming out. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Especially because Glenn Powell's in it. Oh, I just love Glenn Powell. Okay. You know, I really do feel like we're getting these big, thrilling blockbusters coming back. Because, you know, before I feel like we'd really just have a lot of, you know, obviously I love superhero comic book films, but I'm glad that we're getting more variety. Why do I say it like that? Variety? More variety at the movie theaters. You know, different kinds. We've got horror movies, comic book films, thrillers, mystery, psychological. We talked about the M. Night Shyamalan films in a previous In the Universe. So a lot is coming out this summer. I think this is going to be a great summer at the movies. I think there's a lot coming out. There's a lot I want to see. So I can't wait, guys. I want to know what you guys think of A Quiet Place Day 1. Are you going to be watching that in theaters? What do you think? How do you think it's going to go? I'm excited to talk about that more on the channel too. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about A Quiet Place. We'll keep it quiet on that topic for now. All right, guys, let's move into our third topic. I think we'll probably talk the most here, right? So, you know, as you know, I try to incorporate, you know, theme park stuff and exciting announcements into the channel too when I can. And something really exciting happened with Disneyland. If you guys haven't been following, you know, Disneyland had this project or this proposal to the city of Anaheim, to the residents, called Disneyland Forward, where they were planning to expand Disneyland and create all new lands, expand the park. But of course, this would obviously need to have massive construction. What their plan is, and I'll get into the details, is to, you know, really take out some of the Disneyland parking lots to make, you know, expand the lands, expand Disneyland there. Well, I believe it was earlier this week that the city of Anaheim gave the approval to Disney to go ahead. They took a vote and gave Disney the green light to do that. So let's get into that, shall we? Okay. So via Scott Gustin on Twitter, new Disneyland Forward has been given final approval by the Anaheim City Council, which means Disneyland Forward is officially going forward. The multi-year plan allows Disney to develop new attractions, hotels, and entertainment around its existing theme parks in Anaheim. So very exciting news for Disneyland, and they show this concept art here of what that should look like. Obviously huge. I would check this out online for yourself just to see. But there's a lot that Disney's planning on doing, and we'll get into the details of that because I know some things have been speculated about what could appear there, but I don't know if it's been like officially announced by Disney, because if you know Disney, they have this like history of like announcing things and then they're like, actually we're not doing that anymore, we're gonna do this now. So who knows, but we'll get into that. Okay, yeah, the Anaheim City Council gave final approval to Disneyland Forward, the $1.9 billion Disney's multi-decade expansion plan for Walt's original park. The proposal allows the redeployment of some 57 acres of parking and unused land. Wow. Okay, so let me get into the link that Disney officially gave out. Oops. I'm just trying to see if they announced like what exactly they were gonna do. I want to get into this. Disneyland Forward will bring over 4,500 operational jobs to Disneyland Resort, which is very exciting since more than 2,200 people apply for hourly roles every week, along with nearly 9,000 construction jobs within the first 10 years. Yeah, that's definitely great. Okay. So yeah, and that was per Disney Parks, if you want to see what they had to say just about all their like proposals and what it would do for the city and all that. Definitely. I don't think that they said exactly. There's just more like speculation, which I do want to get into that, of what would be coming with Disneyland Forward, like the lands. Let me see. Because I know there was like something they released a long time ago where they said like they wanted to make Wakanda, like from Black Panther, which is super exciting. And then I think they wanted to do like a Frozen Land and like a Tangled Land. And then I believe, who's the other one? And I don't know if like we recently talked about Disney announcing that they're going to bring Avatar to Disneyland, like an Avatar Land. So I don't know if it was like an Avatar Experience or Avatar Land. I think they said Avatar Land. So I'm guessing that probably would be part of the expansion. Because like I said, I don't know where they would put it now. And let me just get into that in general of why, why I think Disneyland Forward absolutely needs to happen. If you've been to Disneyland, you know it is extremely small. Like maybe once you go there the first time, you're like, oh wow, this is so big. This is just like, it's really nice. But compared to like Walt Disney World in Orlando, it is not like that. Orlando is literally its own world over there. They have so much land and it's really in its own enclosed space. They don't have to worry about like outside noise or anything like that of disturbing residents or anything like that. It's really its own place, hence Disney World. But here in Disneyland is so small and it really sits in the center of, the actual city of Anaheim, where it's very close to nearing businesses, residences, the freeway, all of that stuff. And, if Disney wants to continue to bring some new stuff to their park, they really had no choice but to expand Disneyland because there's no room. I mean, it's a miracle that they, have added things like, Galaxy's Edge, but even that they had to, take out some existing places in Disneyland. And even for Avengers Campus, right, they had to take out Bugs Land to make that. So, anytime they want to do anything new at Disneyland in the recent years, they've had to take something out or, like with the old Paradise Pier, they turned it into Pixar Pier. It's pretty much just like a layover. There really wasn't anything super, super new that they could do to build from the ground up. There's no way I think they could have added another land like how they want to do, with this Disneyland Forward stuff. They really have no choice but to expand, further by buying some more land. So I think this is absolutely necessary to keep Disneyland new and exciting. If they're going to make new things at Disney World and if they're going to make new things at, the overseas parks, that's great. But, I really don't know that there's a lot that's going to be attractive to Disneyland when they can't make new things. So I think this is absolutely exciting. I think it's going to span over 10 years. They said maybe even longer of like the construction. I'm guessing they're going to like open in phases. I think that's really exciting. It's exciting to see that this huge new project, since I want to say California Adventure was created, right? It's going to be taking over Disney. I think that's great. I think it's going to create a lot more tourism for Disney. And, well, obviously, it's not going to be anywhere as big as Walt Disney World, but it'll be interesting to see how the numbers change. I mean, people go so crazy for Disney. They're absolutely going to come from all over just to see, this new expansion. I think that's really exciting. And I do think it's really great that it's going to be creating, so many new jobs and everything. I think the trouble probably is going to be, well, during the construction phase, how's that going to fare for the residents, for the city with traffic and noise? Obviously, that's going to be really annoying, but, hopefully Disney works something out, right? I mean, I hope it's not that bad. I can understand how annoying that would be. But, we'll have to see how that goes. But what else I wanted to say on this topic of, why I think that Disney, needs to do this is that, I've talked about how Universal who is Disney's direct competitor, has just been really landing this. They're doing a lot. They've opened the Super Nintendo World. They're opening their all new Epic Universe theme park in Florida, I believe next year. So much cool stuff coming along with that. They're just knocking it out. And then they're going to open, the Halloween Horror Nights year-round experience in Las Vegas soon. I believe that's next year too. So, I mean, Universal is just doing a lot right now, and I think Disney's kind of like, whoa, we need to do something too, and honestly, I think, when I think about this, I think Disney's using a lot to expand on their Disney IPs, right? Like their movies like Frozen and all that. But now that Disney owns Fox and Hulu and all this stuff, they have so much more that they could utilize in their theme parks that I really think they need to start doing that. I think a lot of times, Disney pays attention to what I think is interesting for like families and kids, which I totally get, it's a lot. But I think you also need to start utilizing these other popular IPs. I mean, so I believe, with the Hulu thing, doesn't that mean they have the rights to Hulu shows? I've yet to because I don't have Hulu. I'm thinking about getting that with my Disney Plus package. But what's the show The Bear that's super popular? Why don't they make the restaurant from The Bear somewhere, like in downtown Disney or Disney Springs or something? That's what I'm talking about, is like utilizing a lot of these properties that just aren't aimed at kids to really expand and draw even more of a crowd, to their parks, because I think that's something they're missing. Example, Universal Studios, they cover all their bases there. They're like, okay, we've got the kids with like the Minions and stuff, but hey, come Halloween Horror Nights, we've got the adults, all those horror movies you guys watched this year, we're gonna have mazes for those. And hey, you like the Fast and Furious? We got a Fast and Furious roller coaster. The Fall Guy, I know. You guys stop talking about the Fall Guy. Listen, they made a pre-show of that. I mean, they're covering all their bases with everything they do. And I think that's something, in my opinion, that Disney personally is missing out. I think for the longest time, they've paid attention to Marvel and Star Wars specifically, which I get, two very huge brands that I'm personally a fan of. They have lands for both of them now. But I think they also need to explore outside of that. And now that they own all of this stuff with like Hulu and all this stuff, they really need to expand on that. And maybe when it comes to doing special events, they do these after dark events like Star Wars night and, all this. Do something fun with these other shows, even if it's more geared towards adults. I mean, make the adults feel included in that. And I know that, a lot, there's all these people joke oh, the millennials and all that, going, it's true, all the millennials do go to Disney. So why not even capitalize on that more just outside of doing, your typical Disney stuff? Use these other brands that you now have ownership to. I can't imagine not doing that, especially when they're so popular. So I really hope Disney decides to do that too, and and decides to, just break out of doing traditional Disney stuff and try to venture into doing something new and seeing how that goes for them. So I guess we'll see what comes along with that. I was just kind of putting my own thoughts out there, but I'd love to know what you guys think Disney should do and what you hope to see with this Disneyland Forward project. I think it's going to be really exciting. I think it's cool to know that some big changes are happening in Disneyland, and it's going to happen over a period of time. And I really hope, when they announce things, they actually go through with it instead. Because, like I said, with Avengers Campus, we have no clue when that big Avengers ride is coming, right? I have no idea. And I hope it's still coming. Because I'm like, I wish Disney would finish projects before moving on to the next thing. But we'll see. I'm definitely not complaining. It's just, we'll see what happens. Maybe that is going to be a part of the Disneyland Forward thing. I have no clue. But, yeah, I think that's it. I kind of raced through these topics today, didn't I? Well, that's fine. I always feel like I talk for so long. But let me, since I kind of got done a little quickly, let me just check Twitter to see if I missed anything. Oh, something I want to talk about, and I think that'll be like the last thing. Sorry guys, I need some water. My throat it's dry today. Okay. One thing I want to mention. I think I mentioned this on a previous In the Universe, but even if you guys aren't fans of the original Pretty Little Liars show, the second season of the newest reboot on Max called the first season was called Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. The second one that just came out, it premiered yesterday or 2 days ago, is called Pretty Little Liars Summer School. Guys, the first 2 episodes just came out on Max. I highly recommend, if you're a horror fan, you're into horror, slasher, Final Girls, all that stuff, guys, check out that series. You don't even need to watch the original Pretty Little Liars. Man, I'm gonna do a whole video once this Pretty Little Liars Summer School wraps. All the episodes are out. I'm gonna do a whole video reviewing the new series because, man, I have a lot to say. I gotta tell you, it is a rare case when the reboot is better than the original series. It's gotten so many things right that the original series didn't. And what I like especially about this new series is that it has a huge horror slasher Final Girl element to it. So if you're a horror fan, I highly recommend you checking out that series. It is on Max and it's great. The actresses, the cast, they are all so fabulous, and it's such a fun summer horror watch. It's so good. I highly recommend watching late at night. It's the best time to watch this series. But yeah, I just wanted to get that in there. I think that's going to do it for today's episode of In the Universe, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'd love to know your opinion on anything we talked about today. I know we talked about a lot of different stuff, so I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Once again, I want to thank everyone who's subscribed to the channel for staying subscribed and for checking out another episode of In the Universe with me, guys. I really appreciate you doing that. I appreciate having you here. And if this is your first time checking out the channel, guys, welcome to Sarah in the Universe. And this is what we kind of do here. I do the weekly show in the universe where we talk about different topics in Hollywood going on that week. And I also talk about movies, TV shows, theme parks, all that fandom and all that fun stuff. So if that interests you and you'd like to stay along, I'd love to have you guys. But that's going to do it, guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great rest of your day. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video to talk about some more fun stuff, guys. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. I'll see you guys soon.